Hello and welcome. This is Chris-Anne and I'm coming at you from Elemental Energies with Chris-Anne. So today we are going to be decorating the sticker packets that I got from my Dollar Tree haul. So we are going to be turning these labels into labels that are decorated that we can use in our artwork, whether it's our junk journals, whether it's our cards, art journals, collage art, whatever it is that you make, we can make these to add to that. Now, there is a coating. That's why I took one out and I started making it. I thought there was a coating on these two types, and there is. But this will dry eventually. You can lightly hit it with a heat tool, but you might ruin the sticky on the back. But it will dry. I'm outside on my deck. I am going to leave these in the sun to fully dry. I am using dye-based ink. I am using Distress inks, and I'm using Catherine Pooler inks today, and I'm using some VersaFine Clairs today. So the colors, oh, and I'm also using archival ink. So the colors, let me just go through the colors that I have here. I don't know if I'm going to use them, but I have them here. Ranger Archival Ink Coffee, VersaFine Clair Nocturne, my absolute favorite black ink pad. It is now going so expensive. I just ordered a new one and a re-inker, and the re-inker was like the re-inker was $12 and the ink pad was just shy of $10. Crazy, but it is a wonderful ink pad and it really does last for quite a long time. I am using the VersaFine Clair Green Oasis, Aquatini from Catherine Pooler, Eucalyptus from Catherine Pooler, Daydream from Catherine Pooler. I have my Distress Oxide Walnut Stain. I don't know that I'm going to be using it. And then I have all my Distress ink cubes out here. So if I use some of these, which I probably will, I'll let you know which color I'm using. But these are all dye-based inks that I'm using. So these are stickers, labels, that I got at my local Dollar Tree. These two were from the stationery aisle. This one was from the craft aisle. This is more of a craft paper. This is a better surface to stamp on than these are any time of the day. But the problem is you only get 22 versus 40 and 120, you know. And I only saw one of these on the shelf. I mean, I would have bought two if they had two. The other thing I'm using is my stamping block. I happened to get this one at Dollar Tree. I have a pad of white paper that I got at Dollar Tree. I'm going to show you what we're going to do with that later. And then I have a whole collection of different Stampers Anonymous, Tim Holtz, different stamps. So already I know I'm going to be using from Field Notes. I am going to be using from Attic Treasures. I will eventually, mine are in a book, eventually be using from Moth Study. And then I always like to also use, let me go back. I need another one of these books. I've been hunting. I see Sizzix has something that's out, but it's only 2 ring binder. It's not a 3, but I'm still on the hunt. I need another one. So the other one that I'm going to be using from is Stamp Collector. So those are sort of my go-to ones when I'm doing stuff like this. In this situation, I like to use different colors. Now you can see from this, I think there's 4 colors that I used. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 different colors that I used here. And these are, it's not quite dry, but these are stickers that are like that. There's no orange at the top. Would orange have been my color of choice? No, I like orange. It's going to go great in my witchy Halloweeny journal that I'm going to be making very shortly. But this was the only color that they had, and this was the only color that they had in this one. And these are a different shape. These are a little big, so I might eventually cut some of these down. I haven't quite decided yet. So I'm gonna move this over here, put it in the sun. If you touch it like that, it is still a little wet, and I just made that before we got started. So let me pull one of each of these out. So there's 120 pieces in here. These are a decent size. I like this size. If I'm using this in my journal, this is a nice just little edge. This, if I'm using in my journal, it's a little bit bigger. I like my labels and my stickers to be accents, not necessarily take up the whole thing. And then these are my favorites, of course, but they're the most expensive. Only 22 of them. And you get 2 sheets here. So let's start with this one first. And I'm gonna pull out some colors. So I'm gonna pull out Catherine Pooler, Daydream. I want a red, so I'm gonna pull out Distress Ink Fired Brick. You know what, I have a couple different greens going, but let me get this green too. This is Distress Ink Mowed Lawn. This one comes out really nice too. Distress Ink Chipped Sapphire. You know what, I don't have a purple out here. This is Seedless Preserves. And then, of course, my Coffee and my Nocturne. Now, I'm going to show you, well, let's move these up here. I'm going to show you a trick that I do. Whenever I'm stamping these, you know, in the olden days of stamping, we always had a stamp scrubber or a stamp cleaner or something that we cleaned our stamps on. Nowadays, a lot of us can't be bothered. Sometimes I do and sometimes I don't. But let me show you what I do. So sometimes I have a piece of paper that I stamp off on to get all the excess ink off my thing that I'm stamping on, or my stamps. But what I've started to do is I've created sheets of just labels. This is just white paper that I got at the dollar store. When I go to clean my stamps off, I'm gonna stamp on here the first version. The second generation stamp will be stamped here. It's gonna be a lot lighter. You see how these are lighter? It's gonna be a lot lighter. But why just keep creating things like this that are gonna get thrown away when I can actually reuse it? So I'm getting a 2 for the price of 1. It's a twofer. So I've created a couple sheets of just different labels. And these are the labels from the Tim Holtz sets. That's all I'm using. And I've stamped a couple sheets here. So let me show you what I'm talking about. Let's get this. Let's put that there. So these are all rubber-based stamps that are cling mounted. I know I've had a lot of people ask me to really explain a little bit more that might not be expert stampers or artists, and I'm certainly happy to do that. So I'm just gonna randomly stamp this, and I'm gonna do this a couple of times because I'm gonna make a couple at the same time. Now, instead of like stamping this off onto something, see how it's lighter than this one? But in a sense, it's cleaning off my stamp. Let's come in with this one. Tim Holtz is one of the few people that make a very good quality rubber-based stamp. A lot of the stamps now are clear silicone, and they're also cling stamps, but the red rubber, Stampers Anonymous with Tim Holtz makes the absolute best quality. The only thing I don't like is the angel policy. It's a very, very, very horrible angel policy. Angel policy means, can you use it to sell things? What is the copyright policy? And they do not like people to sell things they've made with their stamps. Everybody does. It's the only thing that bothers me. Let's go with this one. So, I don't know. I don't know what the deal is. But years and years and years ago, I could recite the angel policy. Oh, and this is mowed lawn. I could recite the angel policy of like so many stamp companies. And that's how I would buy things. I'm an artist. I want to use what I'm buying to actually make things that I can sell. And you can see these inks are juicy enough that I'm getting 1, 2, 3 stampings out of them. All right. I always like to make multiple things at once. I don't know what my problem is. And now I'm going to the Catherine Pooler Daydream. Now let's see if we can do... Yep, we can. I'm kind of good with those the way they are. I am not going to rub my finger over it because those will smudge. I don't know if you can see. They're still quite wet. They're still, you know, it's juicy ink. And you want it to be juicy ink, but they're still quite wet. It dries on this a lot quicker because this is a more of a porous paper. This is sitting on the, it's sitting on the surface of the paper because of the coating. This is absorbing. I still get it all over me. Always. All right, now seedless preserves. And let's do a couple. I like them to go every which way. I'm not just stamping them on this straight. I am going to come in and I will fussy cut these later. What does that mean? It means I'm just going to come in with a pair of scissors and cut these out. That's what fussy cutting means. Let's see. Let's go back to coffee. I kind of, when I sit down to sort of mass make things, I like to just have a collection of stamps, a collection of inks right in front of me. And I just sit there and just play with all of it. Let's come in with this one. I'm outside, so I get to use the sun to help me dry everything. And these go fairly quick. I mean, I know I've used this in the same color. I'll mix it up in a little bit. The other thing that I like to do is not just numbers, but I like to take some of my butterflies. Let's do these in black. That, and then I can come over here, stamp some of these. Yeah, I'm good with that. So I'm getting 2 for the price of 1. I'm kind of good with the way that is right there. So, super simple. It's just stamping a bunch of little teeny tiny stamps. Now, if I wanted to come and wipe that away, actually I could if I had like a Q-tip or something here. But I am going to leave those in the sun to dry, and let's, oh, here it is. Let's move on with this one. Now this one, you know what? I'm going to use, this is from School Desk Set. I know I haven't filled all of these up, but let's switch the page here. And we are going to come in with the VersaFine Clair Green Oasis. I don't need to ink it all up because I'm only going to do this part. I move my stamp, I move my paper, I move whatever it is that I'm stamping on. Oh, see, I did it upside down. But you know what? That doesn't matter. It's a sticker. And let me clean some of this up. In this case, I am, well, you know what? Let's stamp some of those there. And then I'm going to finish taking the rest of that off on that. Sometimes it's hard to tell which is top and which is bottom. That's okay. It all works out in the end. Next thing I want to do is I have the Moth Study Set. Let's see, let's go with this one. So I'm going with this one. Let's do this one in a different green. So this is Mowed Lawn Green. I actually have not used this actual stamp before. Can you imagine? So let's just give this a really good coating. I think somebody's drilling a well, like a couple miles away from me that way, and I can hear it. I don't know if you guys can hear it too. Power to them. Ooh, see, I like that. And I like the mixture of the greens. Let's come over here, stamp this in two. So when I go to cut it out, you're gonna see some here and you're gonna see some here. How neat is that? And let's come in with this one with my Nocturne. This is gonna take a while to dry. I can feel that already. But look at, I'm getting 3 for the price of 1. And there's still a lot of ink on this. Like, let me come back over here. Still a lot of ink. So, yeah. This is what I do, and this is how I get, I don't know, more bang for my buck out of what it is that I'm creating. So this is Fired Brick, and I'm using this one. I don't always like everything straight up and down. And I'm offsetting things over here too. And I'm going back to Seedless Preserves. Sometimes I can open these with one hand. Sometimes I can't. When I sit down and create something like this, I will create a ton. Because when it comes time for me to sit and actually put everything all together, I want to have it ready for me. Sometimes I like to work in all blacks and browns. Sometimes I like to have a multitude of colors. Let's see. Oh, that's another green. That's the Mola. See, that's how I get all this ink all over me from opening them with one hand. That's what it is. That's the culprit. Let's do brown. And we're going to do, once again, from Moth Study. I grabbed that little guy. And you can see I'm making a bunch of stuff at the same time. Oops. Mostly a mess. And then also from Moth Study, there's these little numbers. Okay, what colors have we not used other than black? Let's see. Did we use this blue? Well, let's do it. The hardest part is when I'm done the videos, putting all these back. Putting them back in the right spot is a pain. That's the worst part. Oh, I like this one. So this, I'm still going off of Moth Study. And I have that one. And black. We'll do black. You know what, I better put this away. I'm never going to remember where all these go. Let's see. Let's come in with one back from where I was, which is Field Notes. We have that one. And let's see, so I've used my red, I've used my blues. I'll use this green. You know it's gonna be right next to it, but that's okay. Yeah. So, I mean, these are getting filled up too. All right, I'm good with that one. These are larger. I don't normally work on these that are this large. I mean, I normally work on little teeny tiny ones. These are large. This is definitely out of my my comfort zone, but that's what I want to do. Okay, I want to come back to my moth ones. And let's pick this one. You know what I don't have? Oh, here's my yellows. Let's do a yellow. I don't have any yellows out here. Let's do Fossilized Amber, Distress Ink. That's what this is needing, a pop of yellow. That's a juicy one. And I'm gonna stamp this right there in the middle so I get both. I love this little stamp. This little one is awesome. This one. I use this one a lot. Is it a direction? I think it's a direction. Like a map coordinate direction. All right, so I've used that one. I've used that one. Haven't used that one, but I better turn it the right way. number 4, number 4, number 4. Let's do this one in blue this time, and I'm going to offset it. Offset it there. Oh, this one still has a little blue on it. I'm creating new colors. There. This way, if I move all my inks over, I know which one I'm using and which ones I'm not using. And we're going to call that one good. Now, if I wanted to add more, I can come in and add some ink to the backgrounds. I'm not going to, because these are a little slippery. These aren't drying a lot. I'll use this one next. And with the moth study, I'm going to do that one. Let me take my sweater off. I even wore a sweater outside today. It's warming up out here, which is good. Of course, I still have to do laundry. I just remembered doing this instead of laundry. That's okay. I'd rather do this than laundry. Any day. Okay, now we're going to start moving these back. So when I'm done this, looks like I have to go do laundry. You want a 3-hour-long video? I do. Oh, goodness. I am still cleaning these off over here because I want to come in with some of these colors, and I don't always want to mix some of my darker colors with my lighter colors. Let's put that there. Let's grab this one, which I think I've used in one of the greens. Yes, I have. Now I'm stamping these very, I don't know, delicately, because I don't want to smush everything everywhere. Let's see. Let's do this one. And we're going to clean this off because I want to come in with a yellow. There. I re-inked it because I want this bright over here. I have it. I can do it. So I am. Oh, you know, I kind of like that the way it is. Do I want to add that? I do like this, that little number 4 one. I haven't done a red. Let's do that in a red. There. Oops. Let's put some here. Let's put some here. Clean off this. Let me clean off my block. Just wiping it on some paper. Oh, I like those. Here, let me try and pick it up without smudging them. Okay, so let me give you a close-up. There's that one. There's that one. Oh, these are nice. If I do say so myself. Let me put those in the sun. Now we're gonna work with my favorites. Okay, these we're gonna do, obviously this looks like postage. So let's take this one. And you know what? Stamp this one in black. And I'm going to kitty corner this one. There. Ooh, I may have run out. Oh, I'll just keep adding to these. Nice. Whoops. Let's do that in some red. And I don't have any stamps here that I'm looking to see something postagey. Like 5 cents, 75 cents. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take this one and we're only gonna ink up, let's see what colors. We'll use purple. We're only gonna ink up part of this. So you see how I'm doing that? I know the light's changing out here. There, that's all I did. There. And then let's add some of those. There. Looks like it just needs a little something. Something in green. You know what? We're going to use this. And I do not want to get ink all over this, but I want to offset this. There. Oh, I like that. Oh, that came out cute. Yeah, these, let me find a clean finger. Ever so slight little bit of ink coming off. I don't really have any clean fingers. Not too bad though. These are drying definitely, whoops, definitely quicker than some of the others. Let's do 2 more on this. And let's see, I'm gonna do this green. This is that mowed lawn. Let's do this at an angle. I'm not whacked about that one actually. I think I would have liked it better in black. Let's see. Let's grab this blue, this chipped sapphire. Okay. Red. We'll do red. Fired brick. And we'll do this one. in black. Oops. My ink pads, the lid didn't stay on it. So I'm going to stamp right over everything there. And then I'm going to come in with that circle-y one. Let me see. I pretty much filled these up. Let's do this circle one. Received. Oh, you know what? We'll do that one in the coffee. There. I didn't really care for the moth in that green, but I'm pretty good with that now. Yeah, I like that one now. And let's stamp that one right there. Okay, let's do, I'm only going to do one more. Let's do this one. And I want it held that way. So let me see what else I have here. You know what I have is this one that we used in the beginning from School Desk. I need to make sure I know which way it goes, first of all. Let me stamp it off on this. Okay, it goes this way. I am going to do this one in yellow because I want it to be my background. Of course, my stamp is a little dirty, so it's going to be picking up some other colors. There. I wanted that as my background. And now I'm going to stamp over that with stuff from the other set that I haven't even used yet. The Stamp Collector set. Let's see. Let's do this one. 3 cents in blue. Oops, let me cover this. Yeah, pretty much run out of room over here. And let's just do this little teeny tiny one in red. To me, this is fun. There. I'm good with that, the way that is. So you can see I did the background just to give it a little bit of like a visual texture. Yeah, these came out cute. If I do say so myself. So let me check these. That requires finding a clean finger again. Oh, this one doesn't have a lid on it. Hold on. That's how accidents are made. So let's see. No, that's pretty dry from sitting in the sun. Oh, I see a couple little wet spots right there. But most of all, that's pretty dry. And this one from sitting in the sun started to curl. So that's a good sign. But that looks pretty dry. I have direct sun right over there. Yeah, there's just a couple little wet spots. Oh, these came out so cute though. I'm happy with these. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna keep making these. And then these guys. Let me know what you come up with. And of course, now we have a whole book of these things that I'm going to fussy cut out and use in a million more projects. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate everybody. I always have my website and information linked in the description. And I appreciate you all for watching and the wonderful comments that I've been getting and the support. Thank you so much. Take care and be free.